Linda Ann. This is the story of a girl that was raped and killed on her way home back from school. Was her killer caught? Was justice served? Let us find out. But before we start, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. 11-year-old Newport Beach, California resident Linda Ann O'Keefe awoke on July 6, 1973, to begin her first day of summer school. She changed into a dress created by her mom. It was a lovely dress, trimmed in dark blue and adorned with light blue flowers. She pulled her hair back into a ponytail, donned her dark blue shoes and white ankle socks, and stepped out the door. On that particular day, her piano instructor would be picking her up. Linda was a timid little girl who enjoyed playing the piano, arts and crafts, and her Girl Scout badges. Her mother gushed that her daughter was highly brilliant and loved to use art as a form of self-expression. She was a true blue Californian who relished time at the beach basking in the rays. Linda watched a lot of television and was quite particular about the cleanliness of her room. She even once asked her mother for feedback after she'd finished cleaning. She was a sensitive young girl who had recently had her cat die. The loss of it was difficult for her, according to her mother. This hit her quite hard. The older of Linda's two sisters was someone she had a special bond with. Her older sister was still living at home with them despite being an adult who had a job as a dry cleaner. Linda usually rode her bike to Lincoln Elementary School in Corona Del Mar, and she was a member of the neighborhood youth center. However, on that particular day, she was driven to school by her piano teacher and walked the short distance home. On most days, she rode her bike to class, but today, her piano teacher drove her. Linda did not have her bike with her and did not want to walk home, so she called her mother from the school office and begged for a ride. Cindy caught her mother's end of the phone call, in which she explained to Linda that she couldn't pick her up because she had to work. After some while, a distraught Linda walked out of the school office. Before starting her stroll, she sat for a few moments on the curb outside the school. Janine, also known as Jandy, and her mother saw Linda chatting with a white man in a turquoise vehicle at the corner of Marguerite and Inlet Drive at around 1:15 p.m., less than an hour after Linda called for a ride. The woman, who lived a short distance away from Linda and her family, found the scene strange but not scary. Linda's mother became concerned when dinner time rolled around, and Linda still hadn't arrived home. Linda's mother made some phone calls and drove around the area before finally phoning the police. The hunt for Linda intensified. The effort to locate Linda lasted all night and into the following day. A local architect called Ron Yo was out bicycling with his small kid along a trail known as the Back Bay on the morning of July 7, 1973. Yo went to show his son a place where they could catch frogs, but instead, he saw something horrifying as he came across Linda O'Keefe's dead body. Linda was still wearing her mother's hand-sewn clothing and toting around satchels she'd fashioned herself. Linda was sexually abused and strangled before her death, so the Orange County Coroner's Office classified her death as a homicide. No one was ever arrested or even suspected of her murder, though. The murder of Linda jolted the normally peaceful coastal community of Corona Del Mar. It wasn't just the police who were looking for Linda's killer. Her classmates did too. Terry Briscoe Corwin reflected on his youth, saying, "Our 11-year-old selves, we all got on our bikes, and we all wanted to help. They looked all around town for the van, but came up empty-handed, just like the cops had." The Newport Police Department spent 45 years chasing dead ends after one failed lead after another. Linda appeared to be silent, but with the help of the detectives, she was going to speak up. The Newport Police Department announced they would use DNA testing to find her killer on the 45th anniversary of her death, July 7, 2018. They'd try out a brand new emotional and psychological strategy to get everyone to help them catch the killer, even the killer themselves. They also utilized Twitter to spread a message that appeared to have been made by Linda in an effort to increase interest in the case and tips regarding her murder. The 68-tweet series attracted attention since it provided details about Linda's life, as well as disturbing accounts of her final day. Jennifer Manzella, a former spokeswoman for the Newport Beach Police Department, came up with the storyline. Using official police records and an in-depth interview with the victim's sister, Manzella painstakingly pieced together the story. Beginning with a description of her last known sighting, she tweeted a series of updates to her mother about her whereabouts. This continued right up until her body was found in a ditch in the Back Bay neighborhood. According to another tweet, a mother and daughter who resided in the neighborhood of Linda O'Keefe's home saw her chatting with a white man in a turquoise van. For a long time, detectives covered up Linda O'Keefe's history of sexual abuse. Jim White, a forward-thinking criminologist, collected and stored the semen the killer left on Linda's body in 1973 when there was no DNA testing available for investigating crimes. After examining the case's DNA in the late 1990s, the government submitted the profile to its CODIS database, but no matches were ever found. However, by 2017, authorities had access to the necessary tools thanks to advances in DNA technology. Parabon Nanolabs, a DNA technology company based in Virginia, was contracted by the Newport Beach Police Department in 2017. This company specializes in a technique that uses genetic materials. The murder suspect was 25 years old when Parabon was engaged to develop a composite portrait of the suspect, as they may look now. A snapshot was then obtained, leading authorities to 73-year-old James Allen Neal. The photo was used in a subsequent tweet for the #LindaStory social media campaign. After then, the suspect was put under close watch. Meanwhile, a DNA sample was taken from him and compared to data collected from Linda's body. Over 45 years after Linda O'Keefe was brutally raped and murdered in 2019, police have finally made an arrest in the case. About her murderer. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, 73-year-old James Allen Neal passed away this past Wednesday in the hospital where he had been sent in May for treatment of an ailment. The cause of his death was not specified, but authorities did note that he did not have any COVID-19 symptoms. Linda Ann O'Keefe, then 11 years old, was kidnapped as she walked home from school in the summer of 1973, and Neal was arrested last year on charges of sexual assault and murder. She was later discovered dead in a ditch in Newport Beach's Back Bay from apparent strangulation. After 3 happy years in Monument, Colorado with his family, Neal was taken into custody on February 19, 2019. According to their research, he originally lived in Southern California in the 1970s under the name James Albert Layton Jr. before relocating to Florida and adopting a new identity. Neal was accused of perpetrating obscene activities on 3 girls under the age of 14 in the late 1990s and early 2000s, including one who he later killed while doing so. On the same day, he made his first court appearance in Orange County. The man accused of killing Linda O'Keefe, then 11 years old, nearly half a century ago, was also tied to the sexual assaults of 2 other children, authorities said. According to the Orange County District Attorney's Office, 72-year-old James Neal has been charged with murder and multiple felony counts of committing indecent or lascivious acts with a minor under the age of 14. An aggravating factor in his sentencing has been added because of allegations of many victims. D.A. Neal is now implicated in sex crimes against 2 other minors in Riverside County, as reported by Todd Spitzer after Neal's court appearance. A criminal complaint against Neal was filed on Wednesday, charging him with 5 counts of indecent conduct upon a child under the age of 14, committed between 1995 and 2004 against 2 Jane Does in Riverside County. O'Keefe, a Newport Beach resident, was last seen on July 6, 1973, as she walked home from summer school. Neal has been accused of her sexual assault and murder. The girl's body was discovered in a Back Bay ditch the following day. This is the end of this case, and truly justice was served. Remember to share this video with your friends. Make sure to also give this video a like and subscribe to this channel.